Okay, guys, good morning, good morning. It's Christmas Eve. Our family's not getting together until late tonight. So I'm going over here to the bamboo site and get some stuff ready, you know, for, well, just to keep clocking some time over there. I got the power rake today, so it's a little bit different than normal. The power rake is, well, we're gonna see what the power rake will do. We're learning, right? I'm learning. So the way I learn is by doing, and then seeing what works and what don't work. So I'm gonna put the power rake over there in that area that I, you know, mulched up, and see if, you know, I don't know what I was gonna, you know, I don't know. We'll just have to see. I know one thing though, I'm gonna have to get a longer trailer, man. I'm probably gonna have to sell this trailer I got. I need one a little bit longer. There was a guy online that had a 22 footer for $6 grand. Man, that's a good deal, really, man, if it is everything he says it is. I'm not gonna have two equipment trailers, so, you know, this equipment trailer is almost, well, it's too small, right? It is. I can't put anything, like right now, I'm probably riding dirty, a little dirty. So, because you can't put, it's hard to put a brush cutter on here and the damn power rake. But the brush cutter, the old brush cutter, I'm gonna leave over here at the bamboo site. I'm gonna put it in the barn over here. But right now, I'm not riding clean, man. I know I'm riding dirty. I just hope the DOT ain't out hardcore this morning. And I don't have but about 1.5 miles to go, all back roads, so. But I had to do it like this. There's no other way to do it, man. Like I said, I'm gonna be using the power rake some. A couple things have happened in the last couple of days that, well, leading up to it, I didn't really talk about it. But, so I put the Budweiser bow on a bus to Orlando, Florida, man. There was a rehab down there that was going to take him in. So, I mean, at the end of the day, he couldn't sustain out here living like he was living. Ray, you should have been paying him more money. That ain't got nothing to do with it. I was never gonna pay him more money. What it was a preacher at a local church called me and was, you know, asking me about Gerald, which is Bo, and because Bo apparently went up to their church and was begging, you know, needed, you know, something. I mean, you know, that's what he does. So apparently Bo went up to his church, to one of the members of the congregation or something, I don't know when, or last week sometime, and you know, gave him his sob story, which it is a sob story, but it's his own doing. But you know, that's, you know. So the preacher reached out to me on, I want to say Thursday or so, and was saying, hey, if we can get him into a rehab, you know, will you help get him there? And I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, what rehab's he going to? Where at? I said, he's done been to all the ones I was thinking he's, you know, around here. So I said, yeah, man, you know, is he, you know, of course, Bo, in his day-to-day life, you know, he's asking 100 people for stuff, so he didn't know. So what happened was, well, as it got cold, and then the shelter, you know, they quit having, you know, after the cold snap, they quit having shelter over there, right, where he, you know. So, this was like, Friday night was going to be the first night that they wasn't going to have shelter. So after the preacher reached out to me, you know, on Thursday afternoon, and then on Friday morning, Bo reached out to me. He was with the preacher and them. I mean, I talked to the preacher on Bo's phone, right? And they gave me the rundown of this place that they had for him. They just needed help getting him there. Anyway, Bo's gone to rehab, right? But he needed to go. It was the best for him, and that's what you got to be thinking about, man. So I didn't mind spending the money to get him back down there, you know. And he did call me on the bus ride down there, and he was like, man, I can't keep doing what I'm doing, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, well, dude, I know I've been telling you that for 15 years, but, you know, whatever, right? So that's where he's at. Where he'll end up, you never know. I'm telling him, hey, man, you need to get a life, man. You need to get your shit together. Rather you come and work, come back to this city or live somewhere else. You know, you can't keep doing what you're doing, man. You know, so he has a chance. It's up to him to you know, to seize the moment. But I personally think Bo needs medication. But of course, there ain't no doctor gonna put him on medication if he's, you know, strung out on alcohol and drugs or whatever, you know, in a manic mode. They gotta get him off whatever he's on. And of course, Bo's never gonna tell you the truth of everything that he does. And he's saying in 30 days he's gonna be ready to come back, but ain't nothing gonna change in 30 days. You know, you still, you know, you're not gonna have a place to live. And I said, dude, you need a place to stay. If you don't have a place to stay, don't come back up here, man, because there's no place to stay. You don't, you know, that's what I'm trying to tell him. And really, you know, I felt a little bit guilty about enabling him to last as long as he did up here. Because if it wasn't for me, he might have had to make a move sooner, right? But once I saw that wasn't nothing changing and he wasn't going to do anything different, which I kind of expected, I started, you know, distancing myself with the money and stuff for him, you know. So, you know, I got to be able to sleep at night too, man. Contrary to what everybody or a lot of the haters think about me or whatever, I got to be able to sleep at night. And I sleep a lot better at night knowing that I helped him get to a place that's going to try to help him. Now, whether he accepts the help or does what they tell him to do or you know, all that, well, that's out of my control. Always has been, always will be. So on another topic, so y'all, I appreciate y'all watching the video yesterday. You know, MTL could have done a lot better on the putting that cutter together. They did a piss poor job of putting it together, man. But you know, I have found a lot of that kind of thing in everything that I buy that's put together, you know, shipped and then put together by somebody else and then sold. I mean, just about everything that I buy, I have to go over it, even if I did spend a lot of money on it. I don't think that those bolts that are holding that mount down, the motor down on top of there, I don't think that those are the right size bolts. The head on those bolts need to be bigger, or we need a big thick washer right there, and then a lock nut. The lock nut will work fine if the, you know, if the slot there on the piston motor wasn't so wide there. They need a bigger head bolt, really, with the same threads. But I don't know how all that works. But I'm gonna be watching for that, right? Now, I don't think that the case drain is gonna come out again, because I got that thing. They did not even have it drove down in there very deep. You know, the threads on the case drain going down into that motor, Well, the threads are about that deep, and you can see them, they're nice and clean. And they did not have it maybe 2 turns, because when it came out, it boogered the threads up. I guess the pressure or whatever, when it started moving, it just pushed it out. You know, I don't really know. But anyway, they need to do a better job on that, and I'm going to be proactive in watching that cutter. You know, kind of a blessing that that K-string came out, because that enabled me to see everything else. I would have never saw that motor moving, you know, because it's got that, you know, that cover over it. Okay, y'all. So y'all see all this mess in here. Now I got the power rake on here. I'm gonna try to get some of it. I just want to see what the power rake will do. But if you'll notice, there's a lot of stumps. Everywhere you see a big lump, there's a stump. So we're gonna eventually get them stumps out of here, but I gotta get all this trash where I can see the ground. And I may end up having to, you know, put the brush cutter back on here too, man, because it's not mulched up real good. That's probably the difference in a, you know, a forestry mulcher and the mulcher that I have. A forestry mulcher would get this stuff a lot smaller. So, but I'm gonna hang y'all up on this tree right here, and I'm gonna see what I can do here. Okay, y'all, so y'all see the area right here. This area right here is where I cleaned it all out for the new chicken pen. I'm gonna power rake this area right here real quick in front of me and down beside the building, because we're gonna throw some grass seed out here, and then they're gonna build a coop here. They got rid of that old coop. He sold it. I don't blame him. I would have too. Those things are junk, man, when you buy them from like Tractor Supply or whatever. But I'm gonna power rake this real quick. I did see that the power rake up there, it's just too much debris, man. It's gonna end up tearing something up, man. It's just too much. I'm gonna have to drag it with a bucket before I can get the power rake in there. And there's a lot of digging. You know, this area right here where the dumpster is, this area right here was just like that area over there a few years ago. But I dug out over 40 stumps right here. And the only way you can really manage stuff and make it look nice is to get the stumps out. So I know if my little T190 can dig out 40 something stumps from this area, it can dig out 15 stumps from the other area. It's just about committing to, you know, spending the time doing it. And there's a lot of stumps over there. So, and this machine is significantly more powerful than my T190, probably a third. So, and it's probably a third heavier too. So, yeah, and the stumps are going to be a lot older than the ones that were over here. So I'm going to talk to the owner about that and see what he says. But, you know, they just had a baby and everything, so, you know, they might want to hold up on spending too much more money. So, yeah. Because even though I'm cutting him a break over here because he's my buddy and it gives me a lot of work, it's still kind of expensive, man. You know, so, but I'm gonna power rake this. I wish I had a blower where I could just blow the leaves, but I'm just gonna grind the leaves up into this, man. I could put the brush cutter on and, you know, come in here, but let's just power rake and see what we got, y'all. I'm gonna try to find y'all a place to put y'all, man. Okay, guys, so Merry Christmas, everybody. It's Christmas Day, and it's about, I don't know, it's probably about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and we got all the family stuff for this week done. Oh, excuse me. So yesterday I was telling you guys that, you know, I took the power rake over there to the bamboo site to try to get some of those sticks and just to kind of see how it would do, trying to learn, you know, what the power rake can do and what it can't do. And I learned the power rake ain't supposed to do that. Not only because it was so heavy with wood pieces and chips and stuff, but it had stumps in there. And so a byproduct of me going in there and trying to, well, use the power rake is, well, number one, I got hung up on some carpet that was buried, right? Y'all see that? But the biggest thing that happened as I'm scooting through all that stuff, you know, this caster hit a stump, and look, y'all see that? It won't roll. I'm hoping that, and I don't know for sure, I'm hoping that it just broke the bolt, because I think one of these right here, I guarantee you one of these right here probably cost at least $300 or $400, man. So we're gonna see, right? Yeah, that was just, see, man, it might be a lot worse than what I'm thinking. When I, you know, mess up something or break something that was avoidable, this was avoidable. With it being avoidable, I don't know, man. It bothers me a lot. Looks like it either busted out the bearings. It definitely bent this bolt right here, the bolt that holds this on. So I'm gonna get my needle nose, pull that pin out, pull that caster nut off, and take it apart and see what's up. Well, one thing that my wife got me for Christmas is, y'all check this out. This is Kubota seat cover for the seat in the Kubota. Yeah, really nice. So I'm gonna be putting that on because ever since I've had the machine, I've just had the plastic in there that came with the machine. But I want to get a good seat cover on there, one that I can wash, one that's resistant to everything. Because I know anybody that's watched my channel for a while, the seat on any machine, mowers, skid steers, trucks, it don't matter, is a very important thing to me. So you take care of the seat will take care of you. So that's what I'm going to do. And I guarantee you that seat right there is probably over $1,000. So we want to take care of this machine best we can. It is a piece of equipment and it is going to catch hell, but we want to try to keep the inside of that thing nice. I don't like the red thing up behind the window. I do not like that. I'm going to have something else. I want to have, and I got what I'm going to put in there, I think, in the garage, but I'm not going down to the garage right now because it's pouring down raining. So I've never quite seen a bolt like that on a caster. Looks like this is the bolt head, and then they welded a straight piece of steel there, so it'll grab when you back that off over there. So without further ado, let me get my gloves on and I'll set y'all up, man. So it ain't the rod. This rod is straight as a arrow, man. So it's gonna be, I done messed the bearings up or something. We're gonna see if we're gonna pull it off. The tire's all dirty and shit, man. Okay. Y'all see what I did, right? I don't know if y'all can see that or not. But I can see it now that it's off. It's obvious what I did. It doesn't look like anything internal is messed up, but a physical thing is, look, see how that's coming this way? See how it's all like that, nice and neat. And then right here, it protrudes this way. So basically, a hammer, what I need. And knock hell out of it. It's the only thing I know to do. Because this ain't gotta be, I mean, this ain't like, you know, on a trailer tire or nothing. This ain't gotta be perfect or nothing. It's just gotta roll in the casters there. And I would have to replace the whole tire, man, if I did it correctly. But I'll do it correctly, but I'm not, I mean, unless there's something I'm missing here. Y'all can see how it's almost like, man, it'd be sweet to be able to stick a pipe down in there and just bend it back, but I'll be afraid I'll bust the bearings, you know. You ain't never gonna get that back exactly like it's supposed to be, man. All right, so I got the power rake wheel fixed. Check out the seat right here. That's a nice fitted seat cover for Chucky. Yeah, so yeah, I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas, man. Deuces.